This is the story about Mayor Valerie Pinocchio Plante. Before she was elected as mayor, I invited Valerie Plante to cycle in the Tour de l'Île de Montréal, raise money for the homeless, and encourage all Montrealers to join her and do the same. She ignored the invitation, harbinger of things to come. A year later, Father Emmett Johns passed away, and I invited Valerie Plante while Pops was lying in state at City Hall to cycle in the Tour de l'Île de Montréal, raise money for Dans la Rue, and invite all Montrealers to join her and do the same. They could raise funds for other charities if they prefer. The response to that was, we cannot answer affirmatively so far in advance. So I said, that's not a problem. All I want is Plante to invite Montrealers to raise funds within the event. Whether she shows up on the event, day of the event, it makes no difference to me whatsoever. She could have somebody cycle in her stead. The important thing is that the participants, of the event and all Montrealers be invited to raise money for charity. This year, I again invited Valerie Plante to cycle in the Tour de l'Île de Montréal, raise funds, and encourage all Montrealers to join her and do the same. This year, she cycled in the event. She didn't raise money. What happened was, several weeks before the event, I heard back from her correspondence people, and they informed me that Montreal was very proud of the fact that their employees contributed over $1 million to Centraide. Well, I did the math, I looked online, I contacted Toronto. The per capita contribution of a Montreal employee was $38 to Centraide. The per capita contribution of an employee of the city of Toronto to their United Way was $60. This is the problem of the Québécois. They're very good with their hands stretched out, palm up, but they're not very good with reaching into their pockets and finding anything to give. Quebec is the worst place for charitable giving in all of Canada and the United States. Quebec is the worst place for volunteerism in Canada and likely in the United States as well. It's time that the participants of Velo Quebec events were invited to raise money for charity, just like the events of other major cycling events of other cities are invited to raise funds. The Bike New York's Vibro Cycle raised $1 million for charities last year. What's the matter with Velo Quebec? They have 50,000 people participating in their events. Bike New York only has about 30,000 people participating in events. Anyways, unless politicians get off of their rear ends and defund Velo Quebec, unless the participants are invited to raise money for charity, and it's in their power to do, nothing is going to improve within Quebec. So I encourage everybody to write to Valerie Plante and to their city councillors. And for those of you who do not live in the city of Montreal, please write to your mayor and city councillor and encourage them to see that Velo Quebec is defunded by the agglomeration until the cyclists within the event are invited to raise money for charity. It's been over 30 years since charities have been begging Velo Quebec to cooperate. It's time that they did.